What's up, everybody? It's your boy Baybar to Go Bar. I decided to post some actual decks, some standard ready decks, and really try and show you guys what my decks look like for one of the most important events from a reward standpoint, Hour of Devastation. A lot of these decks are collaborations with guild mates of mine from Goblin Pile, but also from other guilds like You Have One Job and Tormented, and a lot of other people that have collaborated over the years and over the months. So anyway, really the point here is to kind of show you what it looks like if you're having struggles building for these types of events. Maybe this will give you a little bit of an idea, or maybe you'll realize I'm doing something stupid and give me a little bit of a tip on how I could play better. So I'm going to split this into 3 different videos and give you something to think about. I don't know how many more of these will have as far as the Hour of Devastation. I'm hoping that, we get some Ixalan news this week and maybe even a release in the next week or 2, or at least 3. So I'm not sure how many more legacy events like this will have that are actually competitively focused and important to try and do your best. I think we'll probably get a new series of events with Ixalan, which is good, but I kind of wanted to test this out and see how it worked, and if it was valuable to some of the viewership. So I'm going to go in order, and I'm going to make it 3 different videos. I'm going to start at the top with Samut, and let me go over the deck real quick. So here we go. So this is pretty much a Goblin Pile collaboration. Summon Ghost is the one who shared the deck with me. A lot of these cards I didn't have until booster crafting, including some of these creatures. So the idea, and well, let's look at her, let's look at the objectives real quick. So you have to summon 4 or more creatures and then cast 4 or more spells. So that's what we're trying to do in this. I'll tell you right now, I'm 3 points down, all from the Saheeli Ray node, the one where you have to lose 10 or less damage is basically what's got me every time. I'll talk about that more in that video, but these decks are basically similar to what I've used the last few times, and this is I went -1 and then perfect, and now I'm -3 on this one, but that's okay. People's decks are getting more difficult, and you can always run into bad matchups. So, all right, so Gaia's Revenge, it's big, it's fat, and it's hexproof, and it's got haste. It's a good card. Chefnet Monitor, we probably don't cast this as often, but this is one of the best cards in the game because of its cycling component. You usually do want to cycle this, but you might need a 4th creature, so you could cast it. Rashimi is a really good draw engine. Whenever you cast a spell, support a creature, fetch the next card in your library. So it's a really strong card. Query Beetle is one that doesn't get a lot of love, but is actually a pretty cool card. When he enters the battlefield, you convert X gems to green, where X is the number of creatures in your graveyard multiplied by 2. So that's usually hard to fill your graveyard with creatures. But when it does have a few creatures in there, if you have, say, 5 creatures, you convert 10 gems. If you have 10 creatures, you convert, 20 gems. So it actually can get pretty ridiculous. Gather the Pack is how we get some of our creatures in there. It says move the next creature from your graveyard to your hand. If there are 8 or more gems, move a second creature, and then destroy the next 4 creatures. So this is how we can get immediately 4 creatures into the graveyard. So that's, as soon as we cast one of these, we convert 8 gems to green when we cast a Query Beetle. And if we get, a second version of these, you got, a pretty big explosion already. So we have Unlicensed Disintegration just as an efficient removal that we can cast in red. And then we have, obviously you need to be running some kind of support removal in every deck. There's a lot of good supports out there, including like Starfield of Nyx, that can lock you down. Just stuff like, Desert Hold and Suppression Bonds and Cast Out. There's an infinite number of ones that we need to take off the board quickly. Rishkar's Expertise is one of the best cards in the game. It converts X gems to green gems, where X is the amount of cards in your hand multiplied by 4. So if this is the 6th card in your hand, so you have 5 left when you cast it, you're converting 20 gems to green, which is a huge board explosion. And then we run 2 different supports. Both are draw engines. We're trying to just cycle through our deck to get through our to our creatures and stuff like that. So this one is a really efficient one where you draw 2 cards. And if you gain life, which isn't relevant in this deck, you actually gain twice that life. And then Sunset Pyramid's a little uncommon in the recent set. That's actually a really good card. just 4 mana, and it draws you, cards until the shields run out on this. But that's really when you typically need your draw, is early in the cycle. So, all right, let's go ahead and give it a whirl, and we'll see how it goes. Yeah, so I think that everyone's a little bit maybe impatiently waiting for the Ixalan release, but so far everything that Octagon's given us and D3 when running with Octagon has been really good. So I'm being patient and just sitting back and relaxing. So first I need to be concentrating on getting spells and creatures down. I'm fine getting Rashimi down because she's not going to hit hard, but if you have, you don't want to necessarily start prioritizing a Gaia's Revenge right now, or you would turn them off if you are prioritizing them. And I think the best that I see from this initially is just this red down into the black. That's a good combo. All right. So you can see when she hits the battlefield, she even calls another copy of herself up. So let's see. We don't have 8 gems on the board, so I'm a little hesitant to cast this because it will kill my next 4 creatures. But yeah, I think let's just stay away from green this time and see if we can get another green gem, and that'll really kind of set us up to going ahead and trying to finish this game quickly. Still doesn't have it. So he's playing a cycling deck with this Horror of Broken Lands right here. So that means it's really no threat, which is a shame with cycling. So we did get another creature, but more importantly, we have these double Gather the Packs. So it'd be nice if we can play these 2, which is 2 of our spells that we need to cast. We can kill the Horror. So we're going to see if we can fill these up. Go ahead and cast them and cast our Query Beetle, but we need to make sure we have enough room for him. So I'm going to do it like that and go ahead and kill his Horror at the same time. Whenever you're, yeah, that seems smart. So anytime you're doing a converter, you want to take an off color or even one of his colors. You want to leave as many green gems as possible, unless it's just bar none the best opportunity. So I'm going to take this over here. I'm going to kill his Horror. I'm going to gather the pack once, gather the pack again, and then you can see the Query Beetle caused a pretty big cascade there. I can look at the battle log here in a second to see how big that was. I really just missed a good move there. So let's see here. When the Query Beetle came down, he caused 29 green gem explosion and 3 white, and so that's big, right? So that's a lot of mana to the board. So you can see the power of that creature. All right, so he doesn't have any supports on the board. I need to cast one more creature, and which I'll make the Beetle, and one more spell, which I can't cast on the Riverwinder. Let's go ahead and cycle this guy and see what we get. Okay. That's not helpful, so we'll cycle. Yeah, we'll cycle that out. That's good. But we don't really need this other one anyway, so let's go ahead and chunk that. That's not great, but we'd like having max mana here, so I'm tempted to cycle the other Dissenter's Deliverance, but let's see if I can get another creature or something, or another Gather the Pack, but let's see. Yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and do that. So since it has full mana, we drag it to the top. We don't want to use the mana in our column. And I think I'll just save that for whenever we start drawing a lot more cards and try and beat them a little faster. Let's see. I'm probably missing something here. Probably the red into the green's good, even though I have the RX coming. But I think I'll have way too much mana, so I'm not sure it really matters right now. As you can see, the Query Beetle's going to come down and cause another big explosion. We're going to not cast that. And you can see Rashimi is actually doing a lot of work. And even though I turned off one of those Rishkar's Expertise, I drew another couple of them. And so you can see I just played a bunch of cards, and that's a lot with Rashimi kind of pairing with the RX and the Query Beetle to cause a lot of card draw into my mana explosions. So, Floodwaters will put a little damper on us winning as fast as humanly possible, but I'm not totally concerned with that. And let's go ahead and gather the pack a few times, see what we can do there. I'm not using any of her skills right now. There's just no reason to do the Berserker, really. And I don't, the double strike I might use here in a minute, but I'll probably just use her third. All right, so yeah, here we go. Let's man, people spamming the snot out of me. Sorry about that, guys. Gather pack, and then boom, see if we can get a Gaia's Revenge. Oof, do you see that Query Beetle? He just blew up the entire board. So that goes to show you the power of him. Okay, not put him down. I can't believe I've only drawn one Gaia's Revenge in all of this. I feel like I've cycled through like my entire deck almost. Alright, so this is pretty good and lethal, I believe. So, I don't know, it's probably better to just do the double strike thing rather than, let's see, that's plus 24 damage. Actually, that's better, so go ahead and do this. Let's check to make sure. I always do this. Make sure your objectives are finalized. I mean, unless your computer's going to crash if you do something like that. I would always want to check first. I believe this is lethal or close to it. That might be bad math, actually. Yeah, not lethal. Oh, man. So 2 life left. But, I mean, again, he's running a cycling deck, and I've got a huge board right now, so I'm totally 100% not concerned. And that's kind of like, that's the reason I don't like cycling. Not only do I not like to play it, but it's also just really not that fun to play against. It's like you just know that you have absolutely zero threat against you at all times. So, all right, that's 1 victory. Still down 3 points for the event, and I'll come back with the next video to show you my Gideon 3 deck, which is actually a really, really strong deck. And then we'll finish it up in the 3rd video with Saheeli Ray. And we'll hopefully be in the top 50? I don't know. I don't know where this will land me. HOD's gotten pretty competitive. So anyway, thanks for listening, guys. Leave me feedback. Hit me up. Feel free to subscribe to my channel. And I really look forward to Ixalan, where I'll be putting out a lot more content and trying to make it more consistent. Thanks, guys.